What we have here is a standard welded torque converter. These torque converters, you cannot take them apart. They're welded together. Quite a few transmissions have this style torque converter. What they have is we have the impeller, or we have the hub. This usually will stab into a pump. This one happens to have tangs. Sometimes you'll see they'll have splines around the edge. If we can zoom in, you can see the internals, and you'll see the splines where it splines onto the stator or guide wheel, and then also down lower is the turbine splines. We've had this torque converter cut in half, so it's ready to open. If you notice, it does look pretty good down the inside, but we'll take a look and open it up here real quick. What we see is this torque converter actually has excessive damage to it. It's unknown to the eye as it's together. This is why it's so important to have these torque converters inspected on repairs. What we have here, this is your impeller wheel. This actually drives one-to-one with the engine. And we have the fins that get our fluid in motion. Our next wheel down, you'll hear it called a stator wheel, a guide wheel, or a reaction member. This particular one happens to have a free wheel in it. You can see how this will spin inside. Where you see a free wheel many times are in machines that have higher ground speeds. Once everything gets into closer to a one-to-one motion, that free wheel will start to spin, will release. That way the fluid doesn't work as a hydraulic brake and work against us in the highway speeds, or the higher ground speeds, I should say. So we'll take that out. Also a note with these guide wheels, if this one didn't have all the damage, these fins would slope pretty hard this way. And if you look to this side, the fins are really open. You could get your fingers in here. The big open side always faces your engine. The hard slope side always faces your transmission. That's a question a lot of people have. I forgot which way it came out. This wheel here is our turbine. This is our direct drive. This directly hooks into the input shaft of our transmission. Through fluid transfer, we get this wheel in motion, and this is what actually drives our transmission and drives our machine or equipment forward. Right here we do see the failure point of this transmission. We had a thrust bearing. There was a thrust bearing at this here. Here's a race. There's little pieces of metal here. These little rollers you can see collected here in the corner would lay at one time, laid in a circle pattern right here to support the turbine wheel. When these fail, centrifugal force pushes all the debris to the outer edge of these torque converters